I call on Government Order of the Day number 2.
Subordinate Legislation Confirmation Bill, first reading.
The Honourable Simon Bridges.
I move that the Subordinate Legislation Confirmation Bill be now read a first time. I nominate the Regulations Review Committee to consider the bill. Confirmation and validation bills are routine and technical and come before the House every year to confirm and validate subordinate legislation through an Act of Parliament. Confirmation to prevent lapse is a requirement of the Empowering Acts under which the various orders or regulations have been made. Bills of this kind are not very glamorous, but they are important bills nonetheless. The role played by the House in confirming or validating the various items and the scrutiny provided by the Regulations Review Committee provides a layer of protection in the regulation-making process. Should the House decide to withhold its approval for a particular regulation or order contained in the bill, that regulation or order will lapse. Part 1 relates to a total of 22 items of delegated legislation. It confirms 20 items and validates and confirms 2 items. Part 2 of the bill rationalises the terms and operation of all existing confirmation and validation provisions currently in more than 35 acts by replacing them with one set of standard provisions in the Legislation Act 2012, simplifying and standardising the terms and operation of the scattered and unhelpful varying confirmation and validation provisions will benefit all departments that administer acts containing confirmation and validation provisions. A rationalised process will also make the preparation and enactment of every annual confirming bill a simpler process. Standing Order 325 provides for a streamlined enactment process for confirmation and validation bills. There is no amendment or debate for the first reading, and following the bill's second reading, the bill proceeds, if no amendment in committee is required, immediately to third reading with no amendment or debate. Because of the rationalising provisions contained in Part 2, this year's bill is not eligible for that simplified process. Excuse me. However, the bill is structured so that if the Regulations Review Committee so chooses, the bill can be divided into the Subordinate Legislation Confirmation and Validation Bill, which would be enacted by the end of the year in accordance with the process and timeline for confirmation and validation bills, and the Legislation Confirmable Instruments Amendment Bill, which would be progressed at whatever pace the House considers appropriate. The bill traditionally receives cross-party support. All of the orders and regulations in this year's bill are of a technical character. The 22 orders or regulations listed in the bill have been made under 10 different acts. And Mr. Speaker, I don't propose to go through those. I do commend this bill to the House.
The question is that the motion be agreed to.